folks. Brian Rushing here of the Abbey Sports Network as we do our fall seasonal previews of the upcoming athletic seasons here on abbeyathletics.com. Here with the head coach of the women's soccer program, Coach Michael Lynch. Coach, thank you so much for your time today. One of the first things that I wanted to touch on is how wonderful last year's run in the NCAA tournament was for your club. This was a team that was very steady the entire year long and seemed to really play some of its best soccer at just the right time come NCAA tournament time. What was that entire experience for you last year?
Yeah, last year was a special season. I think you hit the nail on the head as far as we peaked at the right time. We were able to start out of the gate. Remember, we went 4-2 in our non-conference play against several top 20 teams, so we knew the team had the potential, for greatness. The question is, can you get through the whole season? Can you continue to play at that level? Can you, miss the injury bug, that kind of stuff? We were able to then get into conference play, have good results for the most part, struggled a few games, but kind of kept an even keel going into the end of the season. And then we were able to hit our stride. Of course, we fell short in that conference championship game against Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer played really well that game and deserved to win. But the results of the season, the body of work, is what got us into the national tournament. And so, and then the chance to play Pfeiffer again in that first round game, which the girls played well and were able to beat Pfeiffer, putting us into that next game, which is always going to be tough. Lenore Ryan is always an opponent that is always going to be good every year. And certainly, having knocked them out of the tournament the year before, we knew that that was their plan, was to beat us, and the girls were able to rise to that occasion too. It's it was a special year. Getting into the next game against Wingate in the Sweet 16 match. I've watched that game several times now, and every time I've watched it, I feel better about the performance, even though we came out on the wrong end of the score. The girls really did play well. The things that we want to stand for as far as holding possession, not giving up breakaway opportunities, the different things that we had talked about throughout the year, we really did good in that game. They converted their opportunities, we missed ours, and I look forward to the team putting themselves in a position again where we can vie for those kind of games.
You get to the point of the year to where the NCAA tournament takes place, and there are no teams that are slouchy in their performance at all. So the fine line between winning and losing is prevalent in the course of every match, and you experienced that through 3 rounds of the NCAA tournament. How important, how critical was it to get a second opportunity at Pfeiffer in tournament play, and what did that do as far as setting the tone for you guys in your run in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, the opportunity to play Pfeiffer again, I think, was good for us in that we really had a goal to win that conference championship, and so when Pfeiffer rose to the occasion and beat us there, we were very disappointed in ourselves, and then to have an opportunity the next week to play them again, the girls were very excited about that. And so we had beaten them earlier in the season, and so we knew that we could beat them, and we just needed to execute the things that our team is good at. And if you looked at that game, the second time we played them, we did more of the things that we're kind of known for, and moving the ball around, creating a lot of different looks, not turning over the ball, not giving them opportunities, and so I think the result of that game was more indicative of our potential or where we were in the season versus in the game that was a week prior. But one of the things that we talk about a lot with our team is just the character of the team, and because we can't control the other team, we can't control a lot of the result of the match, the actual outcome of the match, but we can control the things that influence the match, and that's where I felt like has been one of the things that has helped us have the ball bounce the right way. If you look at last season, there are several points in the season where the ball bounced our way and we were still alive, especially when you get into postseason play. When you get into postseason play, the ball bounced our way several times. Any of those went the other way and the results would have been different. And so all we can do is just keep trying to make plays and do the things that we know will stack the odds in our favor, and then let the results take care of themselves. And so that's what we focus on. And so when it happens, it's satisfying because the girls can see that if we just keep working hard enough and just do the things we're supposed to do, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but more often you do win.
You spoke of how the bounces of the ball dictate the course of the match. And of course, that almost sounds cliche, but to get those sorts of bounces to go your way, you've got to have a solid level of leadership from your players. And you had a very solid group of senior leadership last year. The two-part question that I would ask you is sort of touch on briefly what that senior leadership for last year's club meant to that team last year, and subsequently now what you see from the leadership of this club.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Leadership is so important to the success of a team, and last year's leadership was outstanding. You know, anytime you have a strong senior class that are being leaders, then you usually see the results on the field, and we got that in last year in our team. What's interesting is, you know, leadership is a 4-year development process here at the Abbey, and so we're constantly trying to cultivate leadership. So this year's seniors we have been cultivating for several years, and then we hit it really hard as soon as the fall season ended last year, and they were ready for the challenge. And I'm really excited about our senior leadership this year. I think it's very good. It's very strong. They're doing the right things right now. They're leading by example. They're showing the way. And most of all, you know, they care about the players. And you know, we have a saying with the team, you know, we're here to serve, not to be served. And so seniors are, again, they're showing what is expected. They're demanding what is expected. They're getting our new players on board on the things they need to be doing. And so I'm excited about this year's leadership. I think that they're going to do a great job on and off the field in keeping our team focused and keeping our team set on our goals and keeping our team harmonious. And so I think that part of our team, our competitive edge based on strong leadership, hopefully again will still be there.
In regards to the club this year, this is a team that has a history now of winning NCAA tournament matches. I guess the question that I would have for you is what's next out of this club? What is the next level? Where does this club go at the end of its season to say, okay, we won up last year's club?
You know, since I got here 3 years ago, our goal has always been to advance in the NCAA tournament. And so historically the team has done well, but were they in a position to not only get out of the conference, but to make an impact in the region? And some years they have, and other years it was more difficult for them. So we've been trying to create an environment, create a pool of players, to create a system that it gives them an opportunity to advance. And that's really what our focus is as far as team goals. And so this year, if you look at 3 years ago, the 2012 season, they won that conference championship. They go to the NCAA tournament. That was an achievement in itself, but our goal was to advance. Now, we had a very tough first team game that we had to play, and we were, and again, it was a tough match. It could, you know, we were happy to get out of there and got the win. And so, but again, it's one of those things where we can't control the other team, but we can control what we do. And so we did the very best at what we could do, and it worked out for us. And got into that next round game. We almost won that game against Columbus State. That would have put us into the Sweet 16 2 years ago. And then last year, same thing. We get the opportunity. We get a second lifeline. Get the opportunity to get into the NCAA tournament. We grab that opportunity, win that first round game, go into that second round game. A very worthy opponent, very strong, has all the motivation in the world to beat us, and we're able to outlast them as well. And I keep coming back to when you set the goals. When you set high goals and high standards, it doesn't mean you're going to achieve them, but I think you give yourself an opportunity to, and that's all we ask for, just an opportunity to reach our goals. So I think we're at a point now where, you know, this year's team, I think in some aspects may be better than last year's team, but will we get the same results? Because again, we had a lot of things bounce our way, so we'll see. We'll see how the game goes. But I think this team is evolving into the kind of the next level. And again, you know, you have to win each game. You go one game at a time. But I think we're creating the best practices and the habits and the consistency to, I think, break through even higher levels. And that's the goal for the team.
Here with head coach Michael Lynch of the women's soccer program as they embark on the home opener September 4th against the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Coach, couple questions that I've got left for you. When a person comes out to watch your Belmont Abbey Crusaders women's soccer team, who are they going to see, and what are they going to see from a soccer field level in regards to tactics, players that are making impacts, things of that nature.
Yeah. This is the 20th anniversary season, so we're really excited. In fact, the opener against Alabama Huntsville, they're coached by Coach Jimmy Mitchell, who started the program here 20 years ago. So he's going to be back on campus in order to play that first match of this 20th anniversary season. So I think that's going to make it special. And we've got our returning players who have made strong impact in past years, and they're returning. You look at Hannah Coles in goal, who has had a phenomenal 3 years. Last year was a breakout year for her as far as shots saved, goal against average. I mean, she was all region and first team all conference, and so I think we can expect to see continued great things out of Hannah in goal for us. Last year we had 2 people in the top 6 in goal scoring. Ananda, who was one of our seniors, was number 3. Number 6 in those rankings was Megan Phillips with 10 goals. I think she's gonna continue to find the back of the net. Cass, who was all conference last year as well, 3rd team, she's gonna I think continue to be a positive presence in our attack, and we'll certainly be setting people up and finding the net. But we've got a whole host of returning players and new players that are looking good. The biggest question marks is our back line, as we graduated 2 out of our 3 in our back line, and so right now we're in the mix of trying to identify who those people are that will be playing in those roles. Our central midfield is coming back pretty much intact. Our wide midfield is coming back pretty much intact. Jillian Lang, who was our most valuable player by our team's vote, or player vote, she's still back anchoring our central midfield. And so again, we're really excited about the potential of the team. Sierra Skyers was a player that we had a lot of promise and expectation of, and so last year was a redshirt year for her, and so this year she's coming out, she's looking good, so she'll get a chance to actually get in the game and see what kind of impact she can make. But again, we have so many good players in so many different roles that I think, again, if we can just find that right combination, we should be able to get some good results.
Final question here with the coach, Michael Lynch of the women's soccer program. Coach, you're going to have recruits that are going to see this season preview. The school is already on their radar as far as a club that is going out and winning NCAA tournament matches, and that creates a certain level of buzz for the program. However, all you've got to do is look at some of your vision statements and some of the program's goals, and you understand that it doesn't necessarily stop and start on the field. Sport and virtue is an important factor of what we do here at Belmont Abbey College. How do you employ that into your program so that every young lady that comes through the program gets every opportunity to excel on the field, but of course in the classroom and then in the greater picture as an adult?
Absolutely. I mean, our vision of our program is entirely focused around, we want to be a Christ-centered NCAA Division II college of choice. So if somebody's looking for a Division II program that is at a Christ-centered atmosphere, and that's just not the campus, I mean, that's our soccer team and everything else, we hope that we're on the short list, and then we can then compete to get them to come to the Abbey. Our goal is to be the very best place in the country to play college soccer, and I think when you think of the environment here at the Abbey and the environment we have in our athletic department and the environment we have within our women's team, we can achieve that goal. It's a place that not only we get results on the field, but more importantly, the team is very tight. Again, they're in a campus environment, a college community that really understands first things first. They understand that academics come first. They understand that our faith is ultra important and always is going to be paramount in everything we do, that we don't separate it when we're here at practice and we're over in our dorm room. It's just who we are. And I think that's been it's been a real positive for us. One of the things that we talked about this fall was, we are so blessed. We get to play a sport that we love with teammates that we love, for a God that we love, and what a blessing. And so every time that we get a chance to be together, to go train, to go play games, to support each other in class and that kind of stuff, again, that's the goal. Of course, it's not perfect. Nobody is, but we're trying to do that. That's what we're striving to do. And my experience has been in athletics that when you get the off the field stuff right, the on the field stuff takes care of itself.
Sure.
Rarely do you see the opposite, that you get the stuff on the field right and you get the other stuff totally wrong. It just doesn't work that way, but it does the other way. And so that's what we talk about a lot. That's what we really focus on, and I think it makes a difference for us.
This is a club that has started to make a lot of noise when it counts in the month of November, come NCAA Tournament time, and it is expected for this club to do that and then some moving on in the 2014 season. Coach, thank you so much for your time. For stats, standings, stories, and more, there's only one place in cyberspace when it comes to your Crusaders. That's www.abbeyathletics.com.